And there's another flag thrown on Alondra Johnson, and obviously he said something to the official.
It's another 15-yard penalty, and I think his emotions are really starting to take
control. Objection of conduct. Calgary, number 51. First down, Edmonton.
Wow, half the distance to the goal line.
You can see it right here. The hand comes in, grabs him. It's a nice way to take somebody down if you're a steer wrestler, but it won't work here in the Canadian Football League.
I referred earlier to Johnson being upset with some of his teammates and making comments. He said, we don't have the right attitude and intensity. Kemp in at quarterback now. Well, that attitude and intensity certainly cost the Stampeders as the pass is complete to Darren Flutie, close to the 2-yard line.
Nice throw, sets up nice in the pocket. Good release, gets a little pressure, puts it on a rope.
After the hit by McClanahan, we said that McManus was slow in getting up. He's on the bench now, and
you can see
Kemp is in there at quarterback.
They're checking the shoulder right there.
He said after the game in Toronto, where he was initially hurt, that he had real problems in raising his arm. He seems to be having similar difficulties. Second and 2, Kemp fumbles the exchange from center, and Kemp is forced out of bounds.
Definitely a miscommunication between the running back and the quarterback there. One of them thought he was not getting the ball, or one of them, that might be one of the plays where the quarterback gives it to him, and he takes it, and he pulls it on a bootleg, and it ended up being a bootleg, and he's lucky he didn't fumble that and turn that ball over to Calgary.
Kemp was fortunate in that he was able to get it back.
Definite miscommunication. That ball was supposed to be taken by the running back. Blunt did not know he was getting the ball. Sometimes when you're losing in a game, your concentration can start to fade, and I think that's what's happening a little bit here. Some of the players, you got to key all the time. Remember, this is a 60-minute game. The coaches will pound it into your head.
So with 6:31 remaining in the third quarter, Sean Fleming will attempt a field goal. An 18-yarder. And it's wide. Initial indication was that it was good, and they're indicating now that it was wide. So it's a single point. And Sean Fleming has had some problems this afternoon. He missed one in the opening quarter, missed one in the second quarter. He's 1 for 4. Well, a great opportunity presented itself for the Eskimos to get right back in this ball game following those 2 penalties against Alondra Johnson. Another wide field goal attempt by Sean Fleming, and it's 23-6 with 6:09 remaining in the third quarter. Farrell Declare, the ball carrier. A gain of 7.
The Calgary's offensive line is really starting to dominate the defensive line of Edmonton, and they're just going to pound it out. Not only is it a great thing to run the ball, but it eats the clock. They got the lead. This is really frustrating to the offense of Edmonton, who needs to get on the field as much as possible to try and get on track.
Willie Pless may be playing in some pain right now. He was very slow in getting up after the last play, the 7-yard gallop by Farrell Declare.
Second down, about 3.
Second and 3, and it's Declare again, and he's going to be close to a first down. He was a #1 draft pick in 1996 by the Stampeders out of Concordia.
And one of the nice things about having a backup or having a lead like this is you get to use your backups in a game like this, and they get to see playing time when they normally would not.
5 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
First and 10 from the 45.
Inside fake by Garcia. He's going to be nailed and stripped of the ball by Hunter. Oh, did Garcia ever get hit from the blind side?
Oh, I think he's going to be hurt or shook up on that one. He did not see that. That is what you call a hit. That's unsuspecting. That's like walking into a rake on a golf course. That'll wake you up in a hurry. Now there's some controversy of who touched the ball last. Obviously, the last one that touched that ball, that's the team that'll have control of it right now.
Well, Jeff Garcia is up. But
take a look
hit
from this side over here. I mean, he's not even looking for that right now.
Melvin Hunter, number 46, made the hit and caused the football.
Sometimes when you're a scrambling quarterback, you can only see it. Your peripheral vision will only cover you for so long. Well, you want to question Garcia's toughness now? I don't think he can.
Calgary after all that at the 46.
And fortunately, the officials ruled for Calgary that they were the last to touch the football. Pass intended for Terry Vaughn. After a hit like that, you think the quarterback can want to get rid of it very quickly.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to scramble on this play, but he's got a good thing. He wants to releases the running back out there. Lets Maurice Miller from Edmonton try and cover him. Just overthrows him a little bit. Here's that play again with Garcia. You can see he's looking downfield. He has nowhere of knowing about this guy coming here. Crunch. That's rib time. That's why they wear those rib protectors, as quarterbacks do.
We thought that maybe Willie Pless was the last to touch the ball before it went out of bounds, but apparently not. Anderson on the receiving end of the throw up to the 55-yard line. That's the first completion for Garcia in his last 7 attempts.
This is some good hustle by Jay McNeil, who's left guard in the play, comes all the way across the field to try and spring him. Good hustle for a big guy like that. When you got 6'3" and 290 pounds starting to chug up a little bit like that, it's tough to stop.
Stampeders are short of a first down with 3:54 remaining in the third quarter, so they're going to kick it away. Tony Martino will be kicking into the wind. The Stampeders won the coin toss to start the game and as a result deferred their choice to the second half, and they opted to have the wind at their backs in the fourth quarter. So far the Gizmo, the all-time all-purpose yardage man in the CFL, has been silenced in the return game. No yards again and nowhere for the Gizmo to go. A 27-yard punt by Martino. Hunter blindsided Jeff Garcia and the ball popped loose. We thought that maybe Willie Pless had touched the ball and knocked it out of bounds. And Pless did touch the ball, but he lost control of it, and I think it goes out of bounds off the knee of Vince Danielson right there. And that was the call, obviously, by the official. McManus is up and throwing at the bench, but Kemp is continuing to direct the attack. Again, he had some problems handling the exchange from center, and his throw is knocked down right at the line of scrimmage by Bronzell Miller.
And Bronzell does a great job here on Rod Conniff. You don't see Rod Conniff getting beat too many times in his career, but he gets some great push up the middle here. Here's Conniff right here, and he keeps going like this. And what you see right now, if you can't get to the quarterback, at least knock the ball down. You can never end up beside the quarterback. That's not a good thing in this league, or in any league.
Bronzell Miller played for Amsterdam in the World League, for Nashville in the Arena League this year, then joined Calgary. He says, I hate football, but I'm good at it.
Well, I hate to be doing something. If I'm getting paid for it, that's a great thing.
Kemp. A low throw. Myers attempted to come back for it, and the Eskimos will be forced to kick it away.
Shannon Myers, number 88, goes incomplete. It is third down.
I just talked to Danny McManus. He just shook his head. He threw the ball a couple of times. He has now got the headset on. I don't think he's going to go back in. He was pretty disgusted with the fact that he has re-injured that right shoulder, and I think he's done for the afternoon.
In talking with McManus prior to the game today, he said he felt really good. He said the shoulder felt fine, but if he re-injured the area that was badly bruised in that Toronto game, he's going to have difficulties throwing.
And we did mention one of the keys was to give him some protection and let him get hit, because of the fact that that very thing might happen, and that's what did happen right now. The only thing now to worry about is how serious is it this time, and will it keep him out for very long?
That was a 44-yard punt by Sean Fleming. No opportunity for Coleman on the return. Now they have a return engagement against these same Calgary Stampeders at Commonwealth Stadium on Friday. People were wondering whether or not McManus would be healthy for this game. Following today's Calgary Edmonton Labor Day clash, we'll be going to Hamilton. David Archer, who will be analyzing the game, as Chris Cuthbert calls it for you. Ready for the Toronto-Hamilton battle.
Again, another little miscommunication by Garcia here. They were doing a little trap. Just pulling you can see the guy coming across right there, but miscommunications. Wanted to hand the ball off to Anderson. He didn't take it. Again, some of the problems that arise when you have a big lead in the game.
Errol Martin came in to make the tackle. Fake inside by Garcia. Errol Martin waiting for him. Garcia stepped away from him, and Garcia takes it up to the 30-yard line.
And you mentioned Matt Dunnigan earlier. That is vintage Matt Dunnigan right there. Not even trying to get away from him and running out of bounds. Putting his head down, trying to bowl those guys over. He meets Dixon head-to-head. Watch this collision right here. He's got his head down. He sees where he's got to go. Right there, bang.
Looking for some additional yardage as he took on Glenn Rogers. And it's close enough to call for a measurement.
And that only inspires your team. When you see your quarterback, who's being called, quarterbacks are kind of prima donnas and stuff like that. They should wear dresses. But when you see your quarterbacks running like that, taking on middle linebackers, that's got to get you fired up.
Okay, down third and about a yard, it appears as though Wally Buono was going to gamble with 1:23 remaining in this third quarter. So far on third down gambles, Garcia has carried both times and has been successful. The offensive story for the Calgary Stampeders to this stage of the football game, and they lead on the board as well by a 23-6 margin. Penalty flags as Dixon tried to come up over the top to meet Garcia head on.
Edmonton's going to jump the gun a little bit. They're lining up offside. They're trying to do anything they can to change the momentum right now.
Offside the call against the Eskimos, signals referee Ken Lazaruk.
And an easy 5 yards and a first down.
Offside, Edmonton, number 38. First down, Calgary.
Errol Martin is the man who moved prematurely, so it is a first down for the Stampeders. But the Eskimos right now have to be thinking, particularly that man, Ron Lancaster, about the Friday rematch and what he might be forced to do if he doesn't have his #1 quarterback, Danny McManus, ready to play.
Well, I'd be very surprised to see him back.
Anderson, the ball carrier, he's tripped up after picking up a couple of yards as we move into the final minute of the third quarter.
And you can tell that Calgary's offensive line is having fun right now. Being an offensive lineman in this league for a number of years, one of the funnest things is when you can have an opportunity to tee off and tee off continually on defensive linemen, because they're always yapping at you, talking to you, making fun of your mama. You don't like that kind of stuff. So when you can knock them in the teeth, it's a great feeling.
The way Edmonton rotates their defensive linemen, does that pose any problem for an offensive line?
I think if it's a hot day and the conditions are really like that, humid, yeah, that might be something. But right now, it's not bad. They're not even thinking about it right now. They're enjoying it too much.
Vince Danielson has his first catch of the afternoon. Along the sidelines in front of the Stampeder bench, a gain of 10 yards.
And Garcia's coming back. He's been running the ball effectively. He's got everybody coming tight to the line now. He just rolls out to the right now and throws a little dump pass to Danielson, makes a first down. He's using all his weapons right now. And that's got to be so frustrating for Edmonton because they don't know if they should stay in tight, play the run, spread out, play the pass.
First and 10, Stampeders at the Calgary 50.
Anderson, the lone setback behind quarterback Jeff Garcia. He gets the ball, and gets about 6 yards.
Number 32, Calvin Anderson.
And that is also the final play of the third quarter here at McMahon Stadium, with the Stampeders leading 23-6.
Today.
15 minutes remaining in the Labor Day battle before a capacity crowd of 37,611. And for the fans dressed in yellow and gold, it hasn't been a great afternoon. They'll be looking for revenge on Friday in the return engagement at Commonwealth Stadium. The offensive line for the Stampeders has done a pretty good job in opening some holes for Calvin Anderson and Farrell DeClaire.
Well, they were under a little bit of heat from last week from BC game. They've come out and done the job, both passing and running the ball.
Second and 3 for Calgary. First play of the fourth quarter, and Anderson reaches out to the 50-yard line. He'll be very close to a first down. It may require a measurement.
And you would think, being a running back, that if you got the ball 30 times a game or something, you'd be tired. But it's funny how running backs, the more they get it, the happier are. Willie Plus trying to come and make some play. Wraps up, nice play, nice tackle. You'd expect that out of your defensive player of the year. But he is looking a little shaken.
Coming into this game, Willie Pless leading the league with 55 tackles, 961 during his career. 4 times he's been named the outstanding defensive player in the CFL. Another third down gamble for the Calgary Stampeders, and they've been perfect so far, 3 for 3.
Again, it's third and short, Stampeders.
Look for Garcia to keep. He just steps to the right of Jamie Crysdale.
Yeah.
What about these calls, Chris? The decision of the quarterback and which way to go.
Well, usually you'll go against your big guy, but if you got 2 big hogs in there, Freddie Jones is 330 pounds. If I'm a quarterback, I'm following him right all the way. Not only to the lunchroom, for the first down.
When he was a teammate of yours, it looks like you might have followed him to the lunchroom.
Thanks a lot, Don. I can still see my shoes, though, and I'm happy to say that I'm wearing... Hang on, let me check.
The statistical story through 3 quarters. 1 rushing yard for the Edmonton Eskimos in this ball game compared to the 136 along the ground for the Stampeders, and that's been one of the big differences. Garcia looking for Ford out in the flat. Pless was looking for Ford, and Ford was looking to run before the ball got there.
And they're not used to Ford catching the ball. He doesn't have a whole lot of catches this year. But one of the things that's happening also, when you run the ball and beat up and beat up and beat up on the Edmonton people, they get tired. Now they start throwing the ball. It's like, when is this quarter going to end?
It will be second and 10 from the 49 of the Eskimos.
Calgary from the 49.
Garcia was trying to drill it over the middle for Danielson, and Derek Beattie was defending against him. So the Stampeders will be forced to kick it away.
Really nice coverage by Beattie that time. Danielson just running a little slant across the middle. Garcia puts it on a rope, maybe even throws it too hard. One of the things that Garcia probably over the years is going to develop some touch on the ball. And he's going to get even better.
Tony Martino, who leads the CFL in punting average, hasn't had a great deal of work this afternoon. And he'll have the wind at his back for this third down kick with 13:06 remaining in the fourth quarter. Saw some pressure coming up the middle. It went off the side of his foot and out of bounds. And they'll spot it at about the 24-yard line.
Tony Martino.
12:57 remains after that 25-yard kick by Martino.
The injuries are taking their toll on the Edmonton Eskimos in this Labor Day Classic. The last player to lead the game, Tony Burse, now has a bandage on his left hand. It's covered in ice. Burse slammed the water bottle down to the artificial turf, and I think he's finished for the day. So McManus is out, and now Tony Burse.
A couple of big losses as far as offensive personnel are concerned for the Eskimos. All sorts of movement at the line of scrimmage. Marvin Pope moved prior to the ball being snapped.
Well, with Burse getting out of the game, that gives Jay Hamilton a chance to play. University of Alberta graduate. I'm sure he's got some fans here.
Still first down.
Pope just jumps outside. He's anticipating big time the count.
You know, talked about injuries to players, and when we were talking with Ron Lancaster about Benny Goods, you made a comment. You said he was one of the best. You played against him at anticipating the snap.
And he would get a lot of penalties, and especially if you had a quarterback who starts doing cadence, playing with the cadence and his voice control, you can make him jump a lot.
Intended for Flutie, defended by McClanahan. A bit of a character who marches to his own drummer, who is taking wrestling lessons. He's at the Stu Hart Wrestling School here in Calgary. What are they going to call him? The Crayola Kid?
Well, first he was the Gremlin. Now he's the Crayola Kid. He hands out crayons to all the kids. Unbelievable. He's got the painted hair, so.
And here he is. He tells me he's looking for a tag team partner. Are you available?
Well,
Kemp's in big trouble. Down he goes at the 32.
Ernie Brown gets a sack on that play, but I think they were all back there. And when things are going right, your defense is hot. They're pushing back Edmonton's offensive line. They've controlled them all day. It's a dejected group of offensive linemen walking back to Edmonton's bench. But they will live to regroup and play another day.
Stevenson, Brown, and Miller were all in on quarterback Jim Kemp.
Speaking about McClanahan Wrestling, Glenn Kolka, who used to play in this league, just signed a contract with the WWF, making some big U.S. greenbucks.
Third down punt by Sean Fleming. It bounces in front of Terry Vaughn. And there's nowhere to go. Maurice Miller and Mike Sellers, the first two downfield. The second half of our Labor Day doubleheader comes your way on the CBC television network from Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton as the Ticats entertain the Toronto Argonauts. They're looking for a good crowd at Ivor Wynne on this Labor Day afternoon. Anthony Calvillo hopes to get the Hamilton offense untracked, but Doug Flutie is the man that they'll have to stop, first of all, and try and keep the ball out of his hands if Calvillo is going to have an opportunity to get anything going.
And one of the things they talk about Doug Flutie is the best way to beat him is to keep him off the field. Limit his time on the field.
Moore came back to the football and made the catch at the 50-yard line for a Calgary first down. A 17-yard pickup for Travis Moore.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the first times that Calgary's come out and opened a drive with a pass. They've really been punishing Edmonton's defense with the run all day. And I wonder if they were not setting them up and Edmonton thinking they were going to run, and lo and behold, they throw a pass.
Well, Ian Hallworth, the physical therapist for the Edmonton Eskimos, has had a busy afternoon. Two of the more serious injuries to Danny McManus and Tony Burse. And Derek Beattie is the player now down.
The only thing that I'd ever like to question is, I've been playing 16 years, why is it that when a team is losing bad, there is a greater correlation of injuries to that